uh, in the kind of ways of a friend of mine that I respect a lot, Mr. M.K. Davis. When I come up on ancient geographic anomalies, no matter where they're at, I'd like to show them to y'all because I kind of interested in some of the same things he's interested, like this these natural rock formations. Okay, so let's look at these. These weren't, laid by man, and they're just above the ground. There's probably no telling what's down there beyond it, because this is a ancient seismic movement of the Earth's outer crust. But as humans, we like to take advantage of situations and add our own touch to it, and sometimes it's really beautiful, y'all. So I ain't know if I'm even doing this well. I'm just showing it to y'all. I come out here one time. I'm in Alabama. I do construction. I pulled up on this place with a friend of mine, and I remembered that I had been here before, because in the years of doing construction, we take these well-built, they're well-built homes that are built in places that are right next to towns, or maybe even right in the middle of a town or small town. But the people were smart enough to take the raw materials that were naturally on the ground, and manipulate them to where they would look like, stone houses or whatever, stone structures. Okay. Which is really cool, and y'all know that the reason I'm showing this. This is a different kind of an ecosystem. Excuse me, I'm not a scientist, but just from, like I said, watching MK, Mr. Marlon Davis and his wife, like on trips, and he notices everything. He got me to start paying attention to my surroundings. You don't see construction like this anymore. But the one thing I want to point out, it's a bigger house right here. It may be like a storage shed. Maybe this at one time was a water pump house. Then they contained in there, protected from the elements. This is sitting on a natural foundation of, this stone that you see protruding ever slightly and flatly, jetting out of the ground. Just like this beautiful, there's no telling what kind of activity is done here. Probably maybe some metal smelting, some horseshoes being made, maybe some plow and farm equipment blades being mended or whatever, welded, smelted, whatever. But they easily accessible by the homeowner. Because what I also want to point out now, just a second, if you give me a moment to get up here, because this is just nice. I wish Mr. Davis was here. He'd probably find evidence of no telling what. He's always finding stuff. It's remarkable, the stuff that he notices and sees and points out, and you say, wow, that's amazing. And it was on our nose all the time. It's like Mr. Davis has got like a sixth sense or an extra sense when it comes to recognizing impressions, indentions, things that may have been something, or gives a clue to something else. And that's why we love MK. I ain't gonna brag on him too much because I do it already, but I just want to know that he had a positive influence on a bunch of people's lives. Okay, and just like he did mine, because I don't know, Mr. Davis, kind of like you were, had a bunch of students all at once when you went on YouTube. And we get to places like this, and we get to thinking, hey, MK probably at a place like this would find maybe a Civil War bunker, or maybe a Sasquatch out in the field or something. This place is like no other place. The fern coverage, this is a young walnut tree, but this, and they're all over, are cedars. You don't see this all the time. These are straight spruce cedar trees, and you can tell they're growing so crookedly in this, because they're growing around the rock. This is all stone down here. These roots of the trees and stuff are going around as best they can and growing kind of squiggly. You know, and cedar, because you know there's cedar, because cedar post or was a very, very useful and high sought after commodity. Well, we seem to be in Cedar Post Village, and which is really, you know, I'm just noticing, I'm trying to kind of talk like Mr. Davis notice something, but I'm not quite, because he's so real, and then sometimes he says something funny, and it's really amazingly funny, and, you know, he brings a lot of joy to people's life through education, sharing what, you know, he's accomplished in his life. He's accomplished things in his life by going through the same, maybe teaching methods that we were all taught, but he seems to take it an extra step. You know, you know, this would be amazing to him, I'm sure. I don't even know what to call this. It's a totally different color of white substance. Look, I was poured concrete here, but it's not. It's not shell either. But it looks like at one time it was some kind of a molten, you know, rock. Okay? That run down through here like a waterfall. I mean, look. I can't even get a good camera. I wish I did to show everybody this. I hope Duke Sullivan, you know, I can get this to him somewhere. I really like Duke too. Him and MK are good friends. They compliment each other a lot. Everybody, you know, don't never, if you don't believe things that anybody says or does, or what somebody else believes that they can do, or their abilities to do things, like notice things that nobody else can until they notice them and point them out in a video, and there's no denying that it's there, and there it is. And guess what? I'm sorry, but we all can't be MK Davis, so thank God we got people like MK and Duke Sullivan, and Blaine Tyler, Kelly Shaw. You know, there's researchers out here that deserve mentions, y'all. I've heard about all the bickering in the big community and how it goes, and yes, it does sometimes. Don't come in to any chat or any of my friends that are live and say, oh, well, you know, MK Davis is a hoaxer, or he's a liar, or, you know, don't say that about him or any other of my friends, okay? Because I don't know where you heard things like that, or where you got your opinion of facts in front of your face, but if you don't believe something that's in front of your face that you can't deny, then, you know, it's not anybody's problem but yours. Because you can be as skeptical as you want to be in life about everything. And that includes Sasquatch, Dog Man, divine intervention, do angels exist? Was there a family in East Texas that got so good at habituating these Sasquatch, Bigfoot, part, whatever they are, they're not Gigantopithecus, and I say that, and that's my opinion, not just my opinion, it's my belief. I have seen one close up. It had nothing to do with a primate or a bipedal ape. The gorilla did, but we solved that mystery, didn't we? It's like it's going to be solved one day. This is just a good place to talk about this, because very rarely do you see, and I can point this out, a cedar tree, a southern Alabama cedar, like this big, and it's still growing. Look at this. This looks like some of the burgeoning cypress that's in like the Mississippi skunk ape video. I don't want to keep talking about, Bigfoot related things, but when you have a mixture of different flora, you're going to have a mixture of different fauna. Yeah, look at these. This is beautiful, and there's not many spots like this. These are all cedars. You don't see it, but look how the canopy. It makes a different canopy. Okay, what happened? Okay, yeah, and then my buddy Carl. I'm down here.